Thank you for joining us today. Can you please share a little bit about your journey seeking mental health supports?
I grew up in a very neglectful and abusive and toxic environment. I had to struggle with my mental health, my depression, and my anxiety from a very young age. I never really had the support that you would expect from family members or friends or your community at all. I grew up in a conservative religious household, and especially in the environment I grew up in, mental health wasn't really a thing. They didn't really believe in it. So my depression was left untreated for years until finally some situations happened that led me into foster care. And being in foster care was when I actually started getting the help that I needed. I was able to enter into a residential facility. I was able to get psychiatric help from the programs, from therapists that worked with me nonstop on my trauma. I was able to move past boundaries that I wasn't able to before, and I was able to grow and learn from the challenges that I faced.
So for me, like, my issue has always been the fact that I have private insurance, and I've tried to get the resources from my community mental health authority, but it's hard because I have private insurance. Like I said, I don't have Medicaid, so I don't get the resources that people with Medicaid get. And my mom and I have to fight for the things that I do get.
I think one of my biggest challenges was trying to get people to understand and actually want to help. I was through 3 people before I actually got help and not sent to another person where they basically just told me like, "Oh, well, I can't help you, go to someone else." And um just like I hid a lot of my feelings for years, so no one really knew about it. And then one day I just kind of told my mom how I was feeling.
Thank you for sharing. Can you please share with us what makes you feel safe and supported in your communities?
I guess for me, it's really got to be the people around me. Um, it's the fact that I have people I trust, people I can talk to, and also the fact that if there really is a situation, I have places I can go. I have resources I can reach on and grab and just hold on to if I'm ever in a crisis. I know I'm not alone, and that's one of the biggest things for me.
Probably my friends, my family, and my parents. Like, they always make me feel like I'm good enough and that I can do the things that I want to do, and not to let like my stubbornness get in the way. And they make me laugh, which there's a lot of days that I come home and I just don't want to do anything because I I work so hard that I like work myself to death. So I feel like I just have the people that make me feel supported and understand me, and that's kind of what has helped me, be as successful as I am now.
I feel like your mood kind of changes with who you're around. And if you are with negative people, you're going to be negative and it's not going to help you get support. Being with like my friends helps me a lot, knowing like I can trust them and tell them stuff and not be judged for it.
Are there any topics related to mental health that you feel adults don't understand or that you feel uncomfortable talking to them about?
I personally have to say that myself, I'm okay with talking about mental health. I'm okay with speaking on it. But what I feel like adults don't understand is the fact that when you say you have trauma and when you say you have pain or fear or that you have triggers, they think you're over exaggerating. And I feel like when you view something as an over exaggeration, you're under exaggerating the situation.
Something that I don't think adults get is the fact that just because you're a teen doesn't mean life is easy. Like, yeah, it's probably a little harder being an adult, but there's things that suck about being a teenager. And just because we're not adults yet does not mean we don't struggle, and that our life is not easy, and that it's okay that we have issues. Like, I feel like adults sometimes feel that we should just like be perfect and that we shouldn't have struggles and that we don't have anything to worry about, but in reality they don't understand what it's like to be a teen. They understand what it was like for them to be a teen, and they all say we have it easy, but there's some aspects that were easier in their day than it is now for us. And I feel like they don't get what it's like to be in our shoes. They just expect it to be perfect, like it was for them. Like, they had it harder than us, and we shouldn't complain. And I feel like that is the biggest thing that's wrong about it. Like, just because we're not you doesn't mean that we don't struggle and that we don't need help, and that it's okay that we're not always going to be 100% okay. And we shouldn't have to.
Depression's always just a phase to them. It's not like a real serious problem. It's their life is harder. You need to understand that. And what you're feeling right now is only going to last a few years, when if it does go untreated, you can have it your whole lifetime.
Thanks so much for sharing your perspectives. Is there anything else that you would like to add to this discussion about mental health?
What I have to say is mental health is real and you need to treat it as such. Whether you're afraid to reach out for help or people are preventing you from reaching out for help, you have options. And all you have to really do is ask.
It's okay if you're not 100% okay. And just because it feels like no one understands and no one cares, don't listen to the people who aren't there to support you, and get rid of the toxic people because they're not worth it. And you are capable of what you want to be. And if you work towards something, you can get there. And don't be afraid to ask for help because the people who are there for you want to help.
You're never going to be 100% every day of your life. It's not going to happen. It's physically impossible to be okay every day of your life. And a lot of people just have to pretend that they are okay every day of their life, but you are not alone. Like, there's so many people that actually do want to help, and it's not just about people who have what seem like a perfect life.
Well, thank you all so much for your amazing insight. Is there anything you would like to share with other youth and young adults about our Youth Advisory Committee?
So if you've struggled and if you like to use your voice, you should definitely join YAC, because it's a great way to help inspire others and make others feel heard, and just have a say in things. Like, you get to be involved with things that you might not have ever thought you would have been involved in. And you get to build good friendships. Like, you get to know people that you probably in another world never talk to. Like, I've met people in YAC that I wouldn't have talked to if it wasn't for YAC. So it's a good way to meet new people, to use your voice, and to gain leadership skills. So I definitely would recommend joining if you want to like help inspire someone and be a part of something big.
YAC, YAC. It stands for Youth Advisory Committee. And if you are passionate about reaching out to other people who are also struggling or making a change in order to help people get the resources that they can't get right now, join YAC, because YAC is making a difference and it allows you to make a difference too. Your voice isn't silent, so reach out and be heard.